New year and new energy. Already making plans for next season. Like, what are you doing?
The Indiana Fever have found themselves at the center of one of the most dramatic and talked about moments in WNBA history, and it's all thanks to a deleted social media post that may have accidentally revealed their entire strategy for the upcoming expansion draft. With the expansion draft for the new Golden State Valkyries team set to take place on December 6th, the stakes are incredibly high for the Fever, who are looking to build on their playoff appearance in 2024 and solidify their future as a contender. But the leak of a protected player list, whether intentional or not, has set the stage for what could be a very interesting offseason. To fully understand the gravity of this situation, we need to first break down the expansion draft process. The Golden State Valkyries will debut in 2025, and before that can happen, the team needs to fill its roster through the expansion draft. The Valkyries will select players from each existing WNBA team, but there's a catch. Each franchise can protect up to 6 players, shielding them from being drafted. Any unprotected player is available for selection. The key here is that the protected list is confidential. Only the Valkyries management and the management of the other WNBA teams know who is on it. The draft itself will be broadcast live on espn on December 6th, but before that, each team must submit their protected player list by November 25th, making that day a crucial turning point for the Fever. Indiana has long been at the bottom of the WNBA standings, but the 2024 season saw them break through with a playoff appearance and a winning record. The emergence of players like Caitlin Clark, Aliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hall has given the team hope for a brighter future. With new head coach Stephanie White at the helm, the Fever are in a position to build something special, but their decisions now could shape their trajectory for years to come. Enter the social media slip-up that has fans buzzing. On November 24th, just one day before the protected player submission deadline, the Indiana Fever's social media team posted a graphic meant to celebrate the team's future. The image featured head coach Stephanie White standing in front of 6 players with the caption, "New era, new energy," already making plans for next season. The post, which was up for less than an hour before being deleted, caught the attention of fans who quickly began analyzing every detail. The 6 players in the image were Caitlin Clark, Aliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hall, Nalisa Smith, and Tammy Fagbinell. For anyone familiar with the WNBA, this immediately looked like a leak of the Fever's protected player list for the expansion draft. Fans jumped on this theory, and the speculation went into overdrive. Was this an accidental leak or a poorly timed promotional post? Regardless, the damage was done. Screenshots were taken, and the image spread across social media, fueling endless debates about the Fever's strategy. Whether or not it was an intentional leak, the implications were clear. The post had potentially revealed Indiana's entire draft strategy at the worst possible time, giving rival teams insight into their priorities. Now, let's break down the rumored protected list and what it tells us about Indiana's vision for the future. Caitlin Clark, Aliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hall were obvious inclusions. Clark, coming off a historic rookie season that saw her break records and establish herself as one of the league's brightest stars, is the face of the franchise. Boston, the first overall pick in the 2023 draft, is already one of the league's most dominant players and the cornerstone of the Fever's frontcourt. Mitchell, a proven scorer and veteran leader, has been crucial to the team's offensive success, while Hall provides grit, defense, and shooting to complement the stars. The inclusion of Nalisa Smith, however, sparked immediate controversy. While Smith has athleticism and potential, her inconsistency on the court and off-court distractions have made her a polarizing figure. Her performance has been up and down, and some fans question whether her potential is enough to justify a protected spot over other players with more consistent performances. On top of that, the fallout from the infamous iPook incident with her girlfriend, which resulted in a TikTok video, has raised additional concerns about her maturity and focus. Still, the Fever may be protecting her with an eye on her trade value, or perhaps they believe they can unlock her potential under the right coaching. Either way, the decision to protect Smith is a gamble that could pay off or backfire depending on how the rest of the season plays out. The sixth spot on the list reportedly goes to Tammy Fagbanell, a veteran forward who played a significant role early in the season before injuries slowed her down. Fagbanell's inclusion is noteworthy because many fans expected younger players like Grace Berger, who has high potential but was underutilized in her rookie season, to make the cut instead. Fagbanell brings leadership and experience, particularly in defense and rebounding, and her versatility could be valuable in a draft where veteran stability is in demand. However, critics argue that prioritizing Fagbanell over Berger could hinder the Fever's long-term growth, as Berger represents a more promising future asset. The omissions of Grace Berger and Damiris Dantas are particularly striking. Berger, despite a limited role in 2024, is seen as a promising young player with the potential to develop into a key contributor, particularly as a backup to Caitlin Clark at point guard. Dantas, a veteran who can stretch the floor and provide depth, also seemed like a logical choice to protect. The fact that these two players are left unprotected could signal that Indiana is open to trade possibilities or that they're willing to gamble on losing them in exchange for protecting their core players. Regardless, these omissions add an element of uncertainty to the Fever's strategy. This entire situation highlights how high the stakes are in the WNBA's expansion draft and how every decision can have long-lasting consequences. Teams are becoming more strategic and secretive in their approach, and with the expansion of the league, every roster move will be under intense scrutiny. The Golden State Valkyries' entrance into the league signals a new era of competition, and every team must carefully consider how to build their rosters for the future. The Fever's apparent misstep has certainly drawn attention, but it also highlights the pressure on teams to make the right decisions. The leaked list, whether intentional or accidental, has given fans a glimpse into the Fever's thinking and sparked a larger conversation about the league's growing competitiveness. For the Fever, the next few days and weeks will be crucial as they finalize their protected player list and prepare for the draft. Will they double down on their young core, or will they make unexpected moves to improve their long-term prospects? The WNBA offseason has never been more exciting, and with the expansion draft just around the corner, all eyes are on the Indiana Fever. The team's decisions now will define their future, and the entire league will be watching closely to see how it all unfolds. Whether the leak was a mistake or a strategic move, the Fever have certainly placed themselves at the center of one of the biggest stories of the offseason. Fans will be eagerly waiting to see if the rumored protected list becomes reality, or if Indiana has a few surprises left in store before the draft. Whatever happens, the Fever's journey into the next chapter of their franchise will be one to watch closely.